first woman from Panama to grace the octagon, Joselyne Edwards makes history for her country today. And though Pantera is embracing that opportunity, she wants to leave Fight Island with a win. And
This fight is 3 rounds in the UFC bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 9 wins, 2 losses. She stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Panama City, Panama, by way of El Paso, Texas, USA, Joselyne La Pantera Edwards. And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist, holding professional record, 11 wins, 3 losses. She stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Xi'an, China, Mulan, Wu Yanan. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, our referee for this one. Joselyne Edwards has arrived in the big show. Had a big win over Pamela Gonzalez back in July of 2020, a 28-second knockout. And she's been training hard even since pre-COVID. She knew this call would come in. It came in, she answered. Here she is. This fight clock brought to you by the U.S. Army. Wu Yanan is in the gray. Joselyne Edwards in red. Here we go.
You're going to see lots of movement from Wu Yanan. She likes to be on her toes and mobile all the time. Good submissions off her back as well. We saw that in the Mulan fight. Really nice quick armbar off the back. Joselyne Edwards is just going to want to walk her down when she starts finding her feet in the octagon. She's going to want to show that Muay Thai.
You know, we spoke about the athletes from China and how the country as a whole is improving. You can even see that at the Olympic level. China wasn't always a world power in the Olympic Games. Now, they're second only to the United States in the medal count just about every Olympic Games. So you can only believe that there are just going to be more and more high-level athletes coming out of this region.
But knowing firsthand, I've been to visit the Shanghai Performance Institute, and the team over there are doing an absolutely incredible job. And the talent coming out of there as well is undeniable.
Wu Yanan was to face Bech Kohea, so a decidedly different stylistic challenge, I would think, in Joselyne Edwards.
Armbar being set up here.
Right away, she's starting to switch her hips. If you're Wu Yanan, you've got to keep the hips covered if you're in the guard. You can't allow for your opponent to start to swivel and switch sides. You got to stay covered, stay square, so that you can control. I mean, I cannot believe Wu Yanan is not recognizing that this armbar is being set up.
I think she's aware of it, which is why she's stacking, but at the same time, the control that Joselyne Edwards has got, given the fact that we're only 90 seconds in, there's not a great deal of sweat, and you can use that to kind of edge your elbow out.
This is smart by Wu Yanan, though. Look at her with those short little movements to try to clear her elbow. Once her elbow gets past the hips, she's completely out of danger.
Oh, it's nice.
Oh, Joselyne went for it.
I mean, Wu Yanan's got a good grip on that, but Joselyne Edwards' whole body on this arm.
Yeah, this is a tough position. If you're Wu Yanan, though, Dan, you start putting your knee right in the face of Edwards.
Yes.
You start stacking her, you start putting your knee in the face, start to drive all your weight down onto her. You cannot allow her to break this lock that you have on your own forearm.
And this is a lot of pressure being forced down onto Joselyne Edwards, and Wu Yanan's going to try and slide that elbow out. You can see her using slight jerking motions to try and get some freedom for the arm. But Joselyne Edwards has got that locked down. Great control with the legs as well. Right in her corner, Master Vic coaching her through this position.
You see here, Dan, whenever you're stacked up like that and your opponent is holding onto her own arm, you can't break the lock. You should start to attack the legs a little bit.
Oh, she might get this.
If Wu Yanan slams her, that's a massive mistake. She will slam herself right back into the armbar.
The armbar has been the submission of choice for Joselyne Edwards in her career. See if she can get another one here.
Ronda Rousey used to immediately attack the leg to start to roll you onto your back, and then she would be on top as she was starting to break your lock. That would really help Edwards right now, but she's getting closer and closer to this finish.
It's something we see in MMA over and over again. When somebody's locked onto an arm, that becomes their primary focus, their entire focus. they don't think about how manipulating the rest of the body can aid the finishing of the submission.
And that's why Ronda was so good, right?
Yes.
Ronda would immediately start to turn you over, and then she would end up sitting on your chest, starting to attack her submission finish.
That's it, a full body attack as opposed to just isolating the arm. Wu Yanan looks like her elbow is going to be out of this in a moment.
She's making slight movements, slight little jerks right there. And every time she pulls, the elbow clears the hips a little bit more. And now she's out.
Oh, good.
Dan Hardy saw it well, just over a minute to go. Wu Yanan is out. Oh, nice up kick, yeah.
Aggressive passing here from Wu Yanan, who manages to get around the legs. Now she's on a Kimura.
Yep, she's on a Kimura. And if Edwards isn't careful, she'll turn into an armbar. Nope, she'll take the back here.
Nice.
Great job by Wu Yanan.
Sliding that near side hook in as well, as you can see from this camera angle. As soon as this space underneath Joselyne Edwards' arm, she's going to slide that hook deep in and take better control of the back. Good work. Good scramble by Joselyne.
Edwards trapped the arm of Wu.
Oh, and she's got managed.
Oh, man.
Wu Yanan covered up here.
Hooks in, she's on the back. She's a little high, though.
She's a little high. Wu Yanan needs to tripod and start to shake Joselyne Edwards forward when they get a little high on you. You can't allow her hips to get back in position where she can try to find her finish.
Good work by Wu Yanan here, freeing that far side hook. Oh, and hooks back in from Edwards. Not enough time to finish here. Good work turned into the guard.
But a strong start to the UFC career of Joselyne Edwards, round 2. All right, round 2, Joselyne Edwards and Wu Yanan. Fellas, any major takeaways from the corners after round 1?
Just calm, collected advice from the Joselyne Edwards corner. They told her to stay relaxed, and you're gonna have to take your time a little bit. You know, it's exactly what a young fighter wants to hear making their debut. She had a very strong first round. You've got to think she took that round based on the submission attack on the arm and taking the back later in the round. You know, so now she's bought herself a bit of breathing room where she can now start to let the rest of her game show.
And you have to stay calm when you have a debutant fighter, because that fighter takes everything, all the energy that you're giving, they're going to take that and apply that to the fight. And a lot of times you see fighters really make mistakes based on the interactions they have with their corners.
She may have also railroaded Wu into a striking match, given the fact that her memory of the first round would be A, defending the armbar, and then B, having her back taken.
And that's where she actually wants to be. Wu's doing a good job of pressure, though. Nice right hand there by Wu.
And now Wu goes to the elbow, working on that left eye of Joselyne Edwards.
Edwards is wincing. I think she took a shot to the eye.
Yes.
As her back was along the side of the octagon here, Wu Yanan landed a beautiful right hand as she pressed into her.
Big right from Wu, now she retreats. Edwards stalking forward.
I was just about to say I'm used to seeing Edwards far more aggressive than this.
That right hand might have woken her up.
There's a little sprint into range.
Beautiful.
Good takedown, good scramble to the top position though.
I was about to say, Edwards isn't even trying to defend the takedowns of Wu. She's just accepting the takedown and then using the momentum to turn back into her to counter her position. She was falling down to her right, kicking under her, and she rolled back into Wu. And now she's on top landing some beautiful counter pounds.
Wu trying to get back to her feet, and she's able to do so.
They were good shots. Some of those landed clean.
But as soon as Joselyne Edwards was signed, the public narrative was, yeah, she should have been here a long time ago, and you can absolutely see that tonight.
Well, she's showing a very good account of herself right now, because Wu is a very difficult fighter to prepare for, especially on short notice.
Don't forget the first UFC Fight Night on ABC coming up at the top of the hour. Head strike numbers for you. Decided advantage for the Panamanian Joselyne Edwards. And I hope Dominic Cruz isn't watching when I say perhaps a little rust for Wu, having been idle since 2019.
Yeah, he would definitely not agree with that. Cruzy does not believe in ring rust, and he's shown it on multiple occasions. You don't believe in it, it may not affect him.
Crafty little up kick from Joselyne Edwards.
A double up kick. That was a drop kick from her back, a WWE drop kick. Joselyne Edwards lands on Wu as she tried to chase him down.
One thing I would also say for ring rust is what's true for Dominic Cruz isn't necessarily true for everybody on the roster.
Dominic Cruz prepares himself mentally so much that he doesn't feel like he missed anything. And he also spars a lot, right? So he's recreating and simulating these fights on so many different occasions that by the time he gets in there, it's just another fight.
And this is something that's come up with the UFC 257 main event and the fact that Conor's last fight was a year ago and it was only 40 seconds. I think some fighters handle it different because they feel like when they're stepping into the UFC's finally here when they're there. You know what I mean? It's like a confidence in the fighters and a championship confidence like you see from Cruz and from McGregor. It does give you a different approach to these things. And young fighters in their career as well. I mean, both of these fighters are under 15 fights. They're still learning. They're still green.
Yes. And if you're Joselyne Edwards and you took this fight last week and you seem to be ahead right now with 23 seconds left in the second round, it cannot be going any better unless you just got it over very quickly.
Very true.
I do believe, though, a lot of fighters are on the cusp of the UFC right now in this COVID-19 climate. They feel like that call could come in any time, and certainly through 10 minutes, Joselyne Edwards appears ready. Here inside the Etihad Arena, third and final round between Wu and Edwards. Wu closing a slight favorite. Per Caesars William Hill at -115, Edwards -105. Nice counter there by Wu.
A nice side kick to the midsection from Edwards as well.
It seems like when Edwards just lets her hands go and it gets a bit chaotic, Wu doesn't have any answer for her. She just kind of backs up and evades.
Edwards is applying her aggression much more intelligently in this fight than I have seen her before. Maybe that's partly down to the fact that she took this on short notice. But I like this educated approach from her. She's not overextending herself in any way.
John, you made a point before the break that these fighters that are right on the cusp are staying ready. Joselyne Edwards showed up at 140 pounds.
Right.
So she was ready to go. She knew that if she got the call, she had to be prepared. And was she prepared? 24 hours. Get your medicals, get on the charter, come out to Abu Dhabi, and look at the performance that she's having to this point. Now, her corner thought that it's 1-1. I'm not sure I agree. I thought that she won the first couple rounds. Maybe they didn't put a lot of stock in her getting that submission attempt in round number 1. But it was a great submission attempt.
Edwards has been the busier striker statistically, the more effective striker, landing 50% of her attempts. Nice.
There it is.
Stuff there from Wu on the feet.
Beautiful left hook there by Wu in that exchange. And she caught her again with her left hand as Joselyne was trying to enter.
Man, Wu is long. She's got a great frame for this bantamweight division. Getting all she can handle, though, from the newcomer Edwards tonight.
Absolutely. But Wu looks like she's in great shape. She's ready to go the last 5 minutes, still bouncing around. But she just needs to be a little more active and trying to take the lead against Joselyne Edwards. You see Joselyne starting to fatigue a little bit. Her coaches said it in the corner. They know that she's tired, but she needs to give 100% effort if she wants to get her hand raised.
And Wu's constantly in motion as well. You know, like her arms are moving, her head's moving side to side. She'll dip into range and then step back out again without committing to anything. It's good. It's good mobility. It shows strong conditioning as well. That was a good body kick.
Look at Wu when she throws feints. She gets big reactions from Joselyne. She starts throwing more feints out there. Joselyne kind of closes her eyes and gets ready to return. And Wu is just not entering. She needs to throw a feint and then follow with her attack.
Dan, you are wise to acknowledge the conditioning of Wu. She has been urgent here late in a close fight. Spinning back fist attempt from Edwards.
Still do feel like she has some ground to make up, though.
Yes.
Yes. But you're right, her cardio has held up, and she looks to be in great shape. There's not much difference between round 1 to round 3 for Wu Yanan.
Oh, that was a good right hand. I mean, Edwards took it well, but it certainly landed clean.
20 combined wins for these fighters, 13 of them by knockout coming in.
See, now we're in the last 90 seconds, and Edwards is feeling like she's got some conditioning left. She can start putting her foot on the gas a little, which is what we saw at the end of the last round. She seems somewhat unfazed by the power of Wu.
No, she hasn't hurt her. Wu has not been able to really hurt her, but she hasn't had a much better round 3 than she had earlier round 1 and 2.
Well, and if you earn respect with your power up top, opens up the body potentially. But you're right, Dan, that Joselyne Edwards guard, she doesn't feel the burning desire to have to raise it when Wu offers something.
That right hand probably should make her want to raise that guard a little bit, because her chin went flying in the air. But look at what it does to Joselyne. When Joselyne takes a good shot, she just says, to hell with this, and just goes forward and tries to make you fight with her. Yeah.
57 to 89 strikes in favor of Joselyne Edwards. Her work rate's been excellent.
And we probably don't have as many missed strikes as we did in the fight earlier.
That is fair.
Because these two are throwing to land.
Yes. Oh, they've both landed more strikes than that whole last fight.
We go to the judges' scorecard for a decision. The judges scored the contest 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Joselyne La Pantera Edwards.
What a moment for pupil and teacher Vic Davila and Joselyne Edwards. The celebration is on as she gets it done in her UFC debut. All right, that is going to do it for our preliminary coverage, but this